Okay, so a very good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. A very good afternoon to each one of you. Pooja, Ishan, Gunjan, Sonali, Rohan, Gunshita, Chaitanya, Nittal, Lakshita, Manvi. Great, great, great. So, yes, friends, today's topic, before I start, I'll request each one of you to keep copy, pen and pencil with you all, because today is one of those economics class where you will see a hell lot of graphs. A lot of graphs I'll be drawing today. Lot. I mean plenty. So please make sure you all are ready with your copy, pen, pencil, ruler, whatever you need today. Okay. So yes, what is it that we are talking about? My dear friends, the topic starts with the concept of equilibrium. With the concept of equilibrium. Sir, what is equilibrium? I have already told you friends, equilibrium is a point where quantity demanded is equals to quantity supplied. Where quantity demanded is equals to quantity supplied. The quantity is called equilibrium quantity, and the price at which this is happening is called equilibrium price. I'll repeat for you all. The quantity demanded and quantity supplied, when equal, that respective quantity is called equilibrium quantity, and the price at which this is happening is called equilibrium price. Having said all that, remember I told you a concept called price mechanism. We have studied this concept, price mechanism. Price mechanism means a situation where instead of price being decided by the producer or the consumers, price is not determined by them. It's determined by the market forces of demand and supply. It's determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Sir, could you elaborate a little bit? Yes, I'll elaborate a little bit. Let's start with an example. It's very easy chapter, very easy topic. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, guys. So here it is. Let me show you the price, quantity demanded and quantity supplied at different levels. You see, price, quantity demanded and quantity supplied at different levels. So let's say the price is 10 rupees, the price is 10 rupees, the price is 20 rupees, the price is 30 rupees. You all know when price rises, quantity demanded falls. Okay, great. Go ahead, sir. Now price rises from 10, 20, 30. When price rises, quantity is falling. So let's say quantity is 1000 units, then 800 units, then 600 units. Because as price rises, quantity demanded falls. But you all know when price rises, quantity supplied also rises. So let's say the quantity supplied originally was 500. It gradually increases to 800 and then back to 1000. So friends, what is happening is, you all see there is a price at which quantity demanded and quantity supplied, if not exactly, are almost the same at this level. Bus, that's the point. This level, my dear friends, is called equilibrium quantity, and the price is called equilibrium price. The quantity is called the equilibrium quantity and the price is called the equilibrium price. I go ahead. Price is called the equilibrium price and quantity is called the equilibrium quantity. So basically this is the domain we operate in. Guys, do you remember this? Is this much clear? You or no in the chat, guys? I will repeat it for you all. जिस प्राइस पर क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड और क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड एक दूसरे के बराबर होता है, जिस प्राइस पर क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड और क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड एक दूसरे के बराबर होता है, उस प्राइस को, जिस प्राइस पर क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड और क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड एक दूसरे के बराबर होता है, उस प्राइस को इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस बोलते हैं, और जिस क्वांटिटी लेवल का आपने बात कर रहे हैं, दैट इज इक्विलिब्रियम क्वांटिटी. क्लियर है ना? यस सर, फैंटास्टिक फैंटास्टिक. All right, Harshita, Yashaswini, very good, very good. Okay, Zeba, Manvi, great. So now, having said all this, guys, there is a diagram that you all need to pay attention to. Very important diagram. Today, whatever diagrams I will draw, this diagram is going to be common among all of them. We will do a lot of diagrams today, but what will be common is what I'm drawing now. So pay attention to this. If you understand this, this chapter is going to be very easy. No learning. Why is this chapter unique? Nothing to learn. Nothing to learn. It's my God promise, nothing to learn. So pay attention, everyone. price, quantity. So guys, quantity demanded is this level and quantity supplied is this level. So have a look here. This is quantity demanded. You all know it's the downward sloping curve, and this is quantity supplied, upward sloping curve. My dear friends, the equilibrium price and quantity is determined at this point where they are intersecting, where they are intersecting, where they are intersecting, where they are intersecting, where they are intersecting. Okay, yes sir, it's where they are intersecting. So now pay attention everyone. So now pay attention everyone. Having said all this, so this is the level, this is the level that you find out. This is called the equilibrium price and this is called the equilibrium quantity. Okay, this is called the equilibrium price and this is called the equilibrium quantity. Got it sir? Yes sir, got it. Having said all this, now guys pay attention. Here is quantity supplied and here is quantity demanded, right? My dear friends, this difference is called excess demand. This difference is called excess demand. What is it called? Excess demand or excess supply? Come on everyone, it's called excess supply. Very good, not excess demand. You see why? Because if you have a look, let's take this point. At this price level, you know this is the supply and this is the demand. So what I'm trying to say is this point represents excess supply or surplus as we call it. But here you see demand is further ahead and supply is less. This is called a situation of excess demand. This is called a situation of excess demand. Pay attention everyone. Excess supply is basically when quantity supplied at a particular price is greater than quantity demanded. Correct? Excess supply. And whenever, my dear friends, there is excess demand, it is usually indicative of the fact that quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. So when demand is greater than supply, it's excess demand, and when supply is greater than demand, it's excess supply. And please remember one thing guys. Please remember one thing guys. What's up? Guys, if in the market there is excess supply, what will the producer do? Very good. They will reduce their price. Why? Because they have excess stock in the godown. They need to dispose it off. So they will reduce the price. So always remember one trick before I get deep into this chapter, that whenever there is excess supply, whenever there is excess supply, what is the way ahead? The way ahead is to reduce the price. Whenever there is excess supply, you have to reduce the price. Correct? And my dear friends, whenever there is excess demand, whenever there is excess demand, the idea is to raise the price. You know why? Because now the quantity is limited with you all. Everybody is wanting to buy this in the sense that there is excess demand. So what to do in that case? Raise the price. The price will rise. So the solution to this problem is raise the price. Raise the price. My dear friends, is it crystal clear everyone? Is it crystal clear? Yes or no? Yes, sir. It's clear. So whenever there is excess supply, price is reduced. बाजार में जब भी ऐसा होगा कि सप्लाई डिमांड से ज्यादा है, तो प्रोड्यूसर्स लोग प्राइस को कम करेंगे जिससे जो एक्स्ट्रा यूनिट्स है वो बेच सके. और जब भी ऐसा होगा कि डिमांड सप्लाई से ग्रेटर है, यानी कि बाजार में चीज का डिमांड ज्यादा है कंपेयर टू उसका सप्लाई जितना है, तो उसका प्राइस बढ़ा दिया जाएगा. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, इज इट क्रिस्टल क्लियर एवरीवन? कम ऑन यार, come on yaar. I need everybody to write it down with you all. Excess supply, reduce the price. Excess demand, raise the price. Excess supply, reduce the price. Excess demand, raise the price. Excess supply, reduce the price. Excess demand, raise the price. Come on everybody in the chat, write it down. Fatafat, fatafat, fatafat. Fatafat everyone. Come on everyone. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, great. Having said all this, friends, now let's move on a little bit. Okay. Having said all this, excess supply, excess demand, and everything is clear. What are we studying in this chapter? My dear friends, there are different situations in reality. For example, there may be increase in demand, simultaneously there may be decrease in demand. My dear friends, this will affect the demand curve, yes or no? Yes, sir. Or there may be option 2, there is decrease in demand, increase in supply or decrease in supply. There can be this also. And or there can be simultaneous changes. Number 3, there can be simultaneous changes. That is what I'm trying to tell you is simultaneous changes. What does this mean? This means that demand and supply both are changing. This means that demand and supply both are changing. So simultaneous changes. My dear friends, here because of these 3 changes, all of you will agree that equilibrium price and quantity will change. Like for example, here because demand and supply are intersecting this way, we are getting the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity here, correct? But because of the virtue of the fact that demand, supply and simultaneous changes may occur, don't you think that the equilibrium position might change? Equilibrium position means price or quantity or both. Yes or no? They will change. Yes or no? Yes or no? Everybody, yes or no? Come on yaar, fatafat. Come on yaar, fatafat. Yes sir, got it. Got it sir, got it sir, got it sir. Fantastic. Yes sir, we have got it. Now we will discuss each one of them one by one, one by one, one by one. इस चैप्टर में हम लोग ये पढ़ने वाले हैं कि जब डिमांड बढ़ रहा है या डिमांड कम हो रहा है, सप्लाई बढ़ रहा है या सप्लाई कम हो रहा है, या डिमांड और सप्लाई दोनों बदल रहे हैं, तो इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस या क्वांटिटी पर क्या अफेक्ट होने वाला है. So simply speaking, if you want me to summarize this chapter in one line, कि sir what will we study, our objective of this chapter, it is also called market mechanism or price determination. The objective is very simple, to study determination of prices here, to study determination of equilibrium price and quantity here and equilibrium quantity here, full stop. That's what we are doing here. That's what we are doing here. इस चैप्टर में अपने पढ़ रहे हैं कि जब प्राइस, डिमांड और सप्लाई इंटरसेक्ट करते हैं, so you get equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Bus, we are going to study that here, that when there is a change in demand or supply, how the equilibrium price and quantity conditions are changing. We are going to study this only. We are going to study this only. Having said and done this, let's start with case number 1, increase in demand. Increase in demand. Now my dear friends, in our examination, it is not necessary that we are told that demand will increase. They will use different languages. I will explain that. But first of all, what condition are we doing? What case are we doing? We are doing increase in demand. So you all better pay attention to the concept of increase in demand. To the concept of increase in demand. Okay? Yes, sir. Please go ahead. So pay attention, guys. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention, guys. Increase in demand. See, here it is the price and here it is the quantity. Now always, I told you, always draw the initial condition first. Always draw the initial condition first. Always draw the initial condition first. Meaning, if this is demand, if this is supply, always draw this first before giving effect to anything. So here you have got equilibrium price and quantity levels. From here you will start working. From here you will start working till here. It is just mere copying of things. Now friends, we have studied in the demand chapter that whenever there is an increase in demand, where do you move? You shift rightwards. Where do you move? You shift rightwards. Whenever there is an increase in demand, what happens? You shift rightwards. What happens? You shift rightwards. So friends, here it is. Friends, here it is. Pay attention, everybody. Acha, by the way, before I move on, this is the original equilibrium condition. This is the original equilibrium price and this is the original equilibrium quantity. Always plot this first. Now guys, what are we studying? Due to some reason or the other on earth, demand has increased. Demand has increased. Demand has increased. Due to some reason or the other, demand has increased. So put it down towards the right. Because when demand increases, it is always towards the right. And so if we have drawn it towards the right, pay attention guys, once we have drawn it towards the right, what is happening? What do you see happening? What you will see is that the new intersection is taking place here. And so what is happening, that the equilibrium price has risen and equilibrium quantity has risen. This is what they will ask, that if there is an increase in demand, supply remaining constant, what will happen to equilibrium condition? So you will have to say equilibrium price will rise and equilibrium quantity will also rise. As you can see, it has risen from here to here, here to here. Bus, that's the topic, and that's the question from this topic that can come in exam. Questions like this. Okay, but sir, can you explain us the logic? Can you explain us the logic, sir? Please. Yes, I'll explain you the logic. Guys, I have shown you two hints, demand and supply. Okay, this left one is indicative of demand, right word is indicating of supply. Okay, put these two together. Friends, demand has increased. So now demand is above supply. It means what? Excess demand. Whenever there is excess demand, price will rise, and that's what has happened. So it is self-explanatory. Why? Because of excess demand. Reason, excess demand. And I told you all before, reason is excess demand. But sir, why is quantity rising? Price rise we understood. Obviously, if demand has risen, maybe supply can be increased by a little bit, if not much, and therefore increase in quantity. Whenever examiner asks you na, what students do is they learn it. If demand increases, price and quantity will increase. Don't learn. Just draw this graph and your answer will be in front of you. रट्टा मत लगाइएगा, रटिएगा मत. If you draw this graph, अगर आप लोग ये ग्राफ बना लो ना, आपको पता चल जाएगा कि इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस और क्वांटिटी बढ़ेंगे, घटेंगे, सेम रहेंगे, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा आपको. तो क्यों आप कॉपी कर रहे हैं? I mean, क्यों आप रट्टा मार रहे हैं? Don't do that. अच्छा, sir, why does demand increases? Demand can increase because of rise in consumers' income, tastes and preferences becoming favorable, price of complementary goods are falling, or maybe price of supplementary goods are rising. Remember, increase in demand will only take place because of factors other than own price of the commodity. If you are talking about own price of the commodity, then it is expansion of demand, not increase in demand. So be very cautious with the word you use. Be very cautious about that. Acha, is that so, sir? Yes, that is so. Today we will draw a lot of graphs. My dear friends, is it crystal clear till here? Come on everybody, you or no in the chat. Come on everyone. Come on everyone. Great, sir. Great. Okay. So sir, having said this, please pay attention everyone. What we are studying here is what happens to equilibrium price and quantity level once there is a change in demand and supply. Okay. So always draw this original diagram first, where demand and supply will intersect. Always this is first. Always this is first. Always this is first. After this, you plot the original equilibrium price and original equilibrium quantity. Beyond this, if there's a change in increase in demand, increase in supply, or whatever the heck there is, you can just put it into effect, but otherwise not. Okay, sir. Again, another diagram. Let's say we have done increase in demand. Let's talk about decrease in demand. This time what we will try to do is, we will try to predict what will happen. Yes, graph will give us the answer that what will happen to equilibrium price and quantity, but let's, for the sake of understanding, see, this is demand, this is supply. Originally both are same. Now demand has fallen, so now supply is above demand, so there is excess supply. And whenever there is excess supply, in the beginning of this chapter today I told you prices will be reduced, so equilibrium price will fall. See, I have not drawn the graph till now, but I know that this is going to be the answer. Let's try it out. We will draw a lot of diagrams, so if you don't understand one, don't worry, a lot of practice will take place today. Don't worry at all. Pay attention. This is price, this is quantity level. So friends, demand, supply. Correct? This is demand and supply situation, and this is how you intersect them. This is how they intersect, and here you present them. Okay, this is how you present them. I'll show it to you. Here is how you present them. You see, this is the original condition. Original condition, no chhed-chhad. Just copy it as it is. Equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, and this is the equilibrium point. Bus, full stop. Always do this. Always do this. But now, demand has decreased. If demand has decreased, it will be shifted. Please pay attention. If demand has decreased, it will shift left. Very good. And so I am shifting the demand curve to the left. And you guess what, guys? Guess what, guys? This is the new demand curve, D1. This is D1, so this is D2. And now where is it intersecting with supply? Because there is no change in supply. So here they are intersecting. You see, here they are intersecting. As we had guessed it correctly originally, this is the new equilibrium price and this is the new equilibrium quantity. So what is the meaning, sir? That there is a fall in equilibrium quantity, equilibrium price, and fall in the equilibrium quantity as well. So both equilibrium price and both equilibrium quantity will fall. दोनों गिरेंगे. Okay, why? Because of excess supply. Here what we had, excess supply. Always remember, I told you the trick already. Excess demand, price will rise. Excess supply, price will fall. Sir, will quantity and price follow the same direction always? Not necessarily. In the case of increase in demand and decrease in demand, yes, they have followed the same direction. But it is not a necessity at all, at all, at all. Hello, is it clear? Come on everyone. Hello, fatafat. Yes sir, it's clear. Moving on. Having said this increase in demand and decrease in demand, let's move on to increase in supply and decrease in supply. Come on everyone, let's move on to increase in supply and decrease in supply. Let's see what we are able to command here. Okay, let's pay attention. Increase in supply and decrease in supply. Okay, pay attention everyone. Always the first thing will be same. Acha, by the way, why does demand fall? Demand can decrease because of tastes and preferences not being liked, consumers income going to fall, or price of complementary goods have become expensive, or price of substitute goods have become cheaper. Many other reasons. I have just highlighted a few of them. Sir. Okay. Great. So is it clear? Yes sir, it's clear. Moving on. Let's talk about increase in supply. Sir, let's talk about it again. Let's try to do our predictions again. Okay, start from the same point. Demand, supply, both start from same where, both start from same place. But what is happening when both are starting from the same place while supply is rising? There is a situation of excess supply. If demand and supply start from the same place and there is a rise in supply, so there is excess supply, and whenever there is excess supply, prices have to be reduced. Prices have to be, yes, reduced. Sir, can you show us the cases where the supply will increase? I mean, can you help us with some of the cases? Absolutely yes. When the cost of production falls, when the price of substitute goods rises, producers find it profitable to produce them. When there is new technology being used. Sir, when the government increases the subsidies, so the cost per unit falls, subsidies increases, or government reduces the taxes on the products. So many other reasons, for increase in supply we have studied under the supply head. Yes sir, we have. Yes sir, we have. Let's draw the diagram, sir. Let's draw a diagram and try to understand it in a more deeper way. Pay attention everyone. This is price. Okay, this is price. This is quantity. Okay, now guys, if I try to make an intersection of the two, here it is demand, here it is supply. Always this is supply, this is demand, and so there is intersection of the two, and therefore this is equilibrium price and this is equilibrium quantity, this is equilibrium point. Khatam. Always this is the first case. Always this is the first case. No matter the question from this chapter, this is the beginning of everything. Now what will happen? Supply will rise, increase, I mean. So once you have increased the supply, you see there is a rightward shift taking place. Since supply has increased, obviously quantity will grow, but they are intersecting where? Here, which we had correctly predicted that the price is going to fall. So equilibrium price has fallen while quantity has risen. So see, equilibrium price has come here and equilibrium quantity has gone here. So what is happening here? Equilibrium price is falling, equilibrium quantity is rising. Why, sir? Because of situation of excess supply. Obviously excess supply means more products in the market, while at the same time equilibrium quantity has risen. And price is less. Why? Because there is excess supply, so price needs to reduce. Okay, come on everyone. Now I expect that at least 70% of this chapter is clear. I mean, till whatever I have done, 70% has to be clear, if not 100%. What do you say? Do you agree, guys? You or no in the chat, guys? Come on everyone. हाँ sir, you are correct, sir. हाँ sir, you are correct, sir. Fantastic. So let's move on, yaar. Let me see what you people are answering, to this question. Let me put it in an MCQ pattern. Okay, there is a decrease in supply. State impact on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. A, price and quantity both rise. B, price and quantity equilibrium fall. Price rise, quantity fall, price fall, quantity rise. What do you think will be the answer, friends? Come on everybody, you can draw, and the hint is draw the diagram. That's the key thing here. Yes sir. Okay, already answers have started coming in. Wow, you people have really understood it well, because the good news is almost all the answer that I am getting is absolutely correct. Almost all the answer is absolutely correct. Yes. So I'll tell you what. Again, there is the same thing. We have to draw the same diagram again and again. So I'll draw this diagram again and again. And trust me, this diagram will draw so many times in this particular class that it will come in your dreams today. That's sure. That's for sure. If you're listening to the class carefully, so there is this quantity supplied, and then there is this demand. Yes sir, fantastic. Now there is this intersection point where is equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. That's clear, sir. It's simple, nothing doing here, and that's the equilibrium point. So yes, the original, the OG. Now there is a decrease in supply here. So the fact that there is a decrease in supply, friends, where do you think will the shift take place? Yes, left. So yes, left. So what has happened, that the new supply is here, and so you people guessed it correctly, that the price is rising and the quantity is falling. I mean the equilibrium ones. So the equilibrium price has risen to P1 while equilibrium quantity has fallen to Q1. Having said this, what do you mean, sir? It means equilibrium price will rise and equilibrium quantity will fall. Most of you have given the correct answer, yaar. But yes, one more thing. What is it, sir? Equilibrium price has risen, equilibrium quantity has fallen. That's not a big deal. Do you guess what has happened here? See, demand and supply, same point. Supply has decreased. So automatically there is excess demand na, and that's why excess demand results in rising of prices. Got it? And why is supply falling, sir? Because supply is falling here, quantity will fall here. Because there is decrease in supply, so quantity will fall here. Got it, sir? So that's why this is. So the reason is excess demand. The reason is excess demand. Now guys, I'll expect at least 90% of this topic is clear. We will move to simultaneous, but before that, is it crystal clear till here? You or no in the chat, guys? Come on, everybody. Fatafat, fatafat. Very good, yaar. All correct answers. All correct answers. Very good. Whoever is answering is giving the correct answer here. Now guys, can I expect 90% of this topic is clear, if not 100? Yes, sir. Let's talk about simultaneous changes. Let's talk about simultaneous changes. But, what have we done till now? Let's summarize it. I'll do it in Hindi first, okay? अपने सिंपल सा लॉजिक ये समझे हैं कि जब भी अपने को इक्विलिब्रियम कंडीशन दिया हुआ है, अपने से उसके बाद ये पूछा जाएगा कि अगर डिमांड बढ़ गया या सप्लाई बढ़ गया या डिमांड घट गया या सप्लाई घट गया तो क्या इंपैक्ट आने वाला है, तो क्या इंपैक्ट आने वाला है। आप लोगों को केवल इतना ध्यान रखना है, आप लोगों को केवल इतना ध्यान रखना है कि आप लोग पहले ओरिजिनल डिमांड और सप्लाई का इंटरसेक्शन बनाइए और उसके बाद जो भी उस पर इंपैक्ट आया है और उसके बाद उस पर जो भी इंपैक्ट आया है उसको स्टडी करिए। उसको कैसे स्टडी करिए? उसको ऐसे स्टडी करिए कि जो भी बोला है खाली उसमें चेंज लाइए। सो आपको अपने आप ही जो नया इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट मिलेगा डिमांड और सप्लाई का, आपको बता देगा कि प्राइस बढ़ा है या घटा है, क्वांटिटी बढ़ा है या घटा है। ये बात याद रखिएगा कि अगर एक्सेस डिमांड होगा तो प्राइस हमेशा बढ़ेगा, एक्सेस सप्लाई होगा तो प्राइस हमेशा घटेगा। केवल इतनी सी बात ध्यान रखिएगा। ओके, यस सर, क्लियर 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 क्लियर। ओके सर, क्लियर क्लियर, फैंटास्टिक फैंटास्टिक। नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट साइमल्टेनियस चेंजेस इन बोथ। Let's talk about simultaneous changes in both. Guys, when we are talking about simultaneous changes in both, when we talk about the simultaneous changes in both, then we have to discuss the percentage also. When we are discussing simultaneous changes, we also have to understand by how much. Suppose I'll give you an example. First of all, let's take the case of increase, okay? So both are rising, increase in demand as well as increase in supply. Pay attention everyone. Pay attention everyone. Increase in demand as well as increase in supply. Now both will change, both will dance. Both will dance. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. Correct. Now I'll tell you one more thing. Pay attention here. Here it's not that easy. Pay attention everyone. Guys, before I go ahead, since demand is also increasing, supply is also increasing, one thing is for sure. Which one? Equilibrium price or equilibrium quantity? One thing is for sure, that it will rise. What do you think? Which one is it? There is no thinking involved here, no diagram involved. Which one of thing is there which will be particularly increasing? Can you tell me here? Come on everyone. Correct. Arey Baba, if demand is rising, supply is rising, both are representing quantity. So definitely quantity will rise. Definitely quantity will rise. Yes, quantity will increase surely. So you already know half of the answer. Understood? But what about, sir, the price? How do we know what is the change in price? How do we know what is the change in price? Now, my dear friends, there can be two kinds of information. Number one, question is silent whether increase in demand is greater than increase in supply, whether increase in demand is less than increase in supply, or number three, increase in demand equals to increase in supply. If this is given, then we can answer the question. Then we can answer the question about the price. But if nothing given, nothing mentioned, if nothing mentioned, then you will say price change is uncertain. Equilibrium price change is uncertain. This uncertain word, when will you use? When they have not said that though both are increasing, which is increasing by a greater percentage. If they don't mention it, then you will say the price change is uncertain. We are sure about that, the fact that equilibrium quantity is rising. We are sure about that fact. but we are uncertain about the equilibrium price changes, sir. We are unsure about the equilibrium price changes, sir. Please remember it here. Acha, is that so, sir? Yes, that is so. Yes, that is so. So remember this very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. Remember it. Whenever we are talking about demand and supply, if both are changing, increasing, I mean, then the equilibrium quantity is going to definitely rise. There is no question. But if they're asking you what is happening to equilibrium price, it is their duty to report to you whether the change in demand is greater or change in supply is greater. If they have not mentioned you anything, you consider the equilibrium price change to be uncertain. But suppose now they have told us that increase in demand is greater than increase in supply. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. If they are telling you increase in demand is greater than increase in supply, increase in demand is greater than increase in supply. Okay? Always the same thing. Always the same thing. Always the same thing. What is that thing? That first of all, you will draw the demand and the supply points without any much thinking into the process. Demand and supply you draw, and then this is the equilibrium price, this is the equilibrium quantity. Bas, till here you have drawn. Almost everybody of you would have drawn it. Now, sir, pay attention. There is increase in demand, increase in supply, but demand increase is greater than supply. So yes, both will shift rightward, but between the two demand curves, keep a greater gap. You have cleared the point. So simply speaking, let's say the demand has risen, so rightward shift, correct? Yes, sir. But sir, supply has also risen, again a rightward shift, but with a lesser quantity. So you see, between the two supply curves, there is a rightward shift taking place, no doubt, but with a lesser value. See, now where is the new intersection taking place? It's taking place here. That is S1 and D1 are intersecting here, and hence the new equilibrium levels are this. So we had already guessed that equilibrium quantity is going to rise. We had guessed it, but equilibrium price is also rising. Okay, so equilibrium price and quantity both are rising, but when is it happening? When the increase in demand is greater than increasing in supply. But guys, this is not a big deal. See, we had already predicted that quantity will rise, correct? Now, if demand is here, supply is here, both are increasing, but demand rise is greater. So demand is greater. So there is excess demand. Price will rise now automatically. Oh, sir, you mean that we did not even need to draw the graph? Yes, first of all, you can do sums without even drawing the graph, but you have got to practice it n number of times before telling the answer without looking at the graph, or else always draw the graph for your safety, like I do here. Come on, guys, is it crystal clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Come on, everyone. Correct. Both are rising, but the increase in demand is greater than increase in supply. Okay, great. Is this one clear, guys? Because we are discussing simultaneous changes as of now. Correct? Yes. Correct. Now, friends, pay attention. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay? Pay attention. Question number 2. When increase in supply is greater than increase in demand. Now, guys, without drawing graph, we can guess. You want to see how? I'll tell you. Both are increasing, so equilibrium quantity is definitely going to rise. And since increase in supply is greater than increase in demand, there is excess supply. Whenever there is excess supply, equilibrium price will fall. So even without drawing the graph, we have been able to predict this. Yes, 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 yes. So I'll tell you what. I'll draw it for you all. This is the price level, this is the quantity level. This is the price level and this is the quantity level. Now pay attention, guys. When demand and supply are intersecting here, this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve. Now this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve, right? Having said all this is the point of intersection of equilibrium price and this is the point of intersection of equilibrium quantity, right sir? Yes, right. But now what is happening? Increase in supply is greater than increase in demand. So yes, both are shifting rightwards, but who is shifting greater right? Supply. So see, the gap between supply curves this time I am keeping a little more, and the gap between the two demand curves I am keeping but a little less, a little on the lesser side. And as we had guessed it correctly, this is what is happening. You see, we had guessed it that price will fall. Yes, it has fallen. Quantity will rise. Yes, it has risen. See, we had guessed it even before drawing the graph. Price fall and quantity rise. Price fall and quantity rise. Come on, everyone. Yes. Sir, it's very easy, sir. Yes, it's very easy, friends. You just need to remember things, okay, of how you need to go about it. Let's move on to the third topic. Pay attention, everyone. Let's move on to this one. Again, they may tell us this. You all tell me what will happen to equilibrium price and quantity. I will not do the hard work. Come on, everybody. You all tell me. Come on here, everybody tell me what will happen if both are changing by equal amounts. I am not doing the hard work. I am not doing the hard work this time. Come on here, go ahead. Go ahead, come on. I'll wait for a minute or two. Yes. Correct, 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 correct. So pay attention, everyone. If there is price here and there is quantity here, if this is quantity demanded and if this is quantity supplied, I'll put the demand here and I'll put the supply here. Here they are intersecting. Equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. Relax, just chill. Now pay attention, everyone. Since both are increasing by the same quantity, so the gap between the two demand curves and the gap between the two supply curves have to be the same. So let's say if this is the gap in between two demand curves, exactly this has to be the gap between two supply curves as well. And if you all have a look at it, you will find out that there is no change in equilibrium price, but equilibrium quantity has risen. The new intersection is taking place at even here. You know, the original price was this, the new price is also this. The original equilibrium quantity was this, but there is a rise by this. So price remains same, quantity has, equilibrium quantity has risen. Why, sir? Because you see, if this is demand, if this is supply, both are rising by the same percentage, there is no excess demand and no excess supply. Remember, only when there is excess demand or excess supply will there be a change in equilibrium price. Here there is no change as such. So if they ask you why, then tell, because there is neither the situation of excess demand and neither the situation of excess supply, right? So if this is the case, then why will you worry? Correct? Yes, sir. Correct, 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 correct. Because there is no excess demand, no excess supply. So equilibrium price remains the same. Remember, equilibrium price is only affected when there is excess demand or excess supply. Excess demand will raise the equilibrium price, while excess supply will reduce the equilibrium price. Other than that, nothing doing. Other than that, nothing doing. All right, sir. Is that so, sir? Yes, sir. All right then, sir. All right then, sir. Guys, moving on. Let me ask you some MCQ based, pattern, and then we can have a look at or have a discussion into what is there, what is not. Okay, so here it is, an MCQ question. Come on everyone, an MCQ question. All right, pay attention, pay attention. Let's say price of, sorry, forget about it. Let's say there is a inflow of new technology from USA into the company, into the industry. State impact on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Come on everybody, I'll not work hard. You know, you all have to tell me what will be the impact. I'll not do the hard work. Come on everyone. Come on yaar. Correct. Very good yaar. You have to pay attention guys. See, pay attention everyone. You know, there is an inflow of new technology. Friends, if there is an inflow of new technology, friends, there is an inflow of new technology. As soon as new technology comes, we have studied under the factors affecting supply, that is quantity supplied will grow. Quantity supplied will grow. Yes, sir. And sir, since nothing is mentioned about demand, it will remain constant. So pay attention, guys. You know, pay attention. See what is happening. Demand, supply, original, correct? Yes. Quantity supplied is rising. So new intersection takes place here. So here it's the intersection. So what is happening? Equilibrium price is falling and equilibrium quantity is rising. Acha. Sorry. So equilibrium price is falling and equilibrium quantity is rising. So equilibrium price falls, equilibrium quantity rises. Why? See, quantity is rising because of excess supply. Next is, why is the price falling? Excess price, equilibrium price is falling because there is a situation of excess supply in the market. Supply is greater than demand. You see, supply is greater than demand due to new technology. Yes, they will not give you direct question. They will give you a twisted question. You will have to come towards the conclusion here. Guys, do you agree, everybody? Do you agree with this? Are you ready for the next question here? Come on, everybody. Are you ready for the next question? Yeah, come on, everyone. Yes, sir, we are ready. Great. Great. So let me get into the next question, okay? You all tell me what will happen, okay? The cost of production of raw material is increasing. State how it impacts the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Come on, everyone. How does it impact? Cost of raw material production is increasing. State how it impacts the equilibrium price and quantity, obviously of the finished good. Obviously of the finished good. You are already talking about finished goods only finished goods. Come on. So see, have a look here. This is quantity demanded, this is quantity supplied. This is the equilibrium situation as usual. This is the equilibrium situation as usual. Okay, wait, pay attention. This is the equilibrium situation, and this is the original equilibrium price, and this is the original equilibrium quantity. Right, sir? Yes, sir. Now, guys, having said this, pay attention here. What is happening any further? You see, cost of production of raw material is increasing. So the supply will fall, and therefore, sir, you will shift it towards the left. Demand, there is no change as such, and so the intersection is taking place here. So yes, the answer is equilibrium price will rise, and equilibrium quantity, as far as it is concerned, it will fall. It will fall. Equilibrium quantity will fall. Yes. Okay. Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Moving on. Next question. Consumers' tastes and preferences towards gym equipment is rising. State the impact on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Come on, everyone. State the impact on equilibrium price and quantity. Come on, everyone. Let's see. Come on, everyone. Consumers' tastes and preferences toward gym equipment is increasing. What do you think will it be its impact on the price and quantity levels? Come on, everyone. Need to hear it. Very good. Keshav, very good. Jasgun, good answer. Great answer, Komal. So let's see what is happening. See, tastes and preferences toward gym equipment rising. If you like the tastes and preferences of a product, then what will happen? As a consumer, your demand for the same will rise. So now see what is happening. Demand, supply, always the original condition first. As you can see, I will always draw the original condition first. Okay. Now what they are saying is consumer tastes and preferences is rising, so the demand will rise. So if this is demand and this is supply, demand will rise. Here it is. And so what is happening, guys, the new intersection takes place here, and so both the price and the quantity levels are rising. So there it is. Quantity is rising because demand is rising, and prices are rising because of excess demand. Demand is greater than supply, so prices have to be increased to reduce the excess demand. Yes. So increase in both is the correct answer. Acha, is that so, sir? Let's see. Let's move on and see what else we are able to go about. Okay, guys. Next question. Government has decided to impose taxes on a commodity. discuss equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity situation. Come on everyone. Government has decided to impose, taxes on a commodity. Come on everyone, let's see what do you feel about the same. I'll wait. I will wait. Yes, you all are correct. Price, quantity. This is the demand level, this is the supply level, and this is the equilibrium situation. Equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. Now government has decided to impose taxes. Arey Baba, if government is imposing the tax on a commodity is becoming expensive. Supply will reduce, and therefore it has to be this way. Supply has reduced, and so equilibrium price has risen and quantity has fallen. Why? Because you see, if demand and supply are like this and supply goes down, so there is excess demand. Due to this excess demand, price will rise. Due to this excess demand, prices will rise, while excess supply, while the quantity will fall, while the quantity will fall. Okay guys, did you get it everyone? Yeah, fatafat guys. Yes sir, very good. Correct answer. Ankit, good answer friend. Anjana, good answer. Abhinav, fantastic. Very good Jasgun. Chalo sahi hai. Moving on. Friends, one more question and then we will discuss something else. That is the decrease in demand and supply. Obviously, that is the next topic. Okay, we will start with that immediately. But first of all, first things first. Okay, so let's pay attention here. Here is the question for you. Price of complementary goods or forget this point, let's say income of consumer falls. Discuss the impact on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Come on everybody, each one of you needs to participate in the discussion and answer me the question. Come on yaar. Yes, very good. Acha, got it sir. So the fact that you have understood it sir, let's discuss here. Quantity demanded, quantity supplied, the original equilibrium condition. Now what is happening is income is falling, so the demand will fall, and therefore the demand curve will shift a bit leftward, and so the new intersection taking place here. And so what has happened, equilibrium price has reduced and equilibrium quantity has also fallen. So fall in equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity is taking place. Bas that's it guys. Got it sir. Very good. Now friends, We will talk about decrease in both. You remember I was discussing the head simultaneous changes. I had done the increase part. Now we will discuss the topic where there will be decrease in both. That is, we will study now decrease in demand and decrease in supply. Decrease in demand and decrease in supply. Yes sir, we know this. Now let's have a discussion into the same. Let's have a look into the same. Come on everybody, pay attention here. See, this is price, this is quantity. Now this is the demand and this is a supply. So demand and this is a supply. Now pay attention. They are intersecting where? They are intersecting here. See, this is equilibrium price, this is equilibrium quantity. Pay attention everyone. This is the original thing. But now you people are guessing it correct. That yes sir, the decrease in demand may be greater than the decrease in supply. The decrease in demand can be less than the decrease in supply, and the decrease in demand can be equal to the decrease in supply. Guys, whatever the case is, one thing is for sure. One thing is for sure. One thing is for sure. One of them is very predictable. That is what will happen to price or quantity. One of the two is very predictable. Tell me which one and what will happen to it. Come on everybody. कौन सा इसमें से predictable है? Equilibrium price या quantity और उसके साथ क्या होने वाला है? Come on everybody. I need your answers फटाफट यार. Very good, very good, very good. Correct. Very good. Sahajpreet, Varda, Ishan, great answer. Chaturvedula, good answer. Anjana, good. Okay. So pay attention everyone. One thing is for sure. Arey Baba, since demand is decreasing, supply is decreasing, both are what? Quantities. So the answer is quantity will decrease. So yes, in all these cases, equilibrium quantity will fall. But guys, if nothing is mentioned, like for example, if there is a question that decrease in demand and supply has taken place, what will be the impact on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? What do you think will be the answer? Option A, rise, B, fall, C, first one is price, second one is quantity, okay? Third option is no change and fall, D, no change and rise. First is representing price, second is representing quantity. What do you think guys? Pay attention everyone, pay attention, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. Correct. So yes, lovely friends. Yes, lovely friends. Yes. No change and fall, because the question has told you simply that there is a decrease in both. They have not told you which one and by how much. They have not told you which one and by how much. The fact that they have not told you which one and by how much, it is imperative that you have to go with the flow. You have to go with the flow that you cannot predict. And yes, quantity will fall because both demand and supply are falling. So that is something predictable. When there is a predictable element given, you can just go ahead with that. So option C is the answer. Option C is the answer. Very good, Pooja. Okay. So yes, Ekta, correct answer. Correct. But now, and here I am not saying no change. Actually, I would rather say uncertain. Yes, there might be change, but we are unable to predict. So there is uncertainty. I would not say no change, I will say uncertainty. It's wrong to say no change. Uncertain. Yes, the word we are looking for is uncertain. Yes, there will be change in price, no doubt. There might be or there might not be. But what is for sure is we cannot tell it until they tell us that which one is decreasing more. Is it the demand that is decreasing by a greater percentage or supply that is decreasing by a greater percent? So it will be uncertainty. Equilibrium price is uncertain. Equilibrium price is uncertain. Okay? Cannot be said, na? Okay. Now I'll draw the diagram when it is said, when it is mentioned. So let's have a look, guys. Come on, everyone. Let's have a look, guys. So see. If decrease in quantity demanded is greater than decrease in supply, if decrease in quantity demanded is greater than decrease in supply, pay attention, everyone. Yes, you can use the hand wala method, correct, but then also you need to practice diagrams. It will give you a sense of confidence, because economics, whenever you are talking about economics, graph is the major element here. If you're not drawing graphs in economics, you're not doing economics here. So see, price, quantity. Yes, I can find out the answer. You see, there is decrease in both. So obviously equilibrium quantity. First of all, let's solve it with hand method. See, decrease, so quantity will decrease, but pay attention. Decrease in quantity demanded is greater than decrease in supply. So falling both, but demand more. So there is excess supply, so price will fall. We have already predicted that price will also fall, quantity will also fall. Because there is excess supply. I am just drawing this diagram now for the sake of formality. So let me draw it for you all here. Come on. Demand, supply. Okay. There is this intersection taking place here. You all can see. Yes. So equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. As always, the first one. Come on. Now they are telling decrease in quantity demanded is greater than decrease in supply. So what is decrease? See, pay attention. This is demand and this is supply. Yes, both are falling, but by which is falling by a greater percentage? Demand. So demand, you just shift it right this. But supply is also falling with a lesser proportion. So you shift it like this. So where it is intersecting here. Once you have been able to plot this, just join them. So what is your answer? Equilibrium quantity has fallen and equilibrium price has also fallen. We had already predicted this because of the excess supply. Both will fall. Very good, Arya. Correct answer. Muhammad Barkatullah, correct. Kubari Mikki, very good, Yara. Correct. Ishan, good answer. Moksha, correct answer. So now, yes, correct. Moving on. Now guys, you will tell me the next one, what if decrease in demand is less than decrease in supply? Decrease in demand is less than decrease in supply. Come on, we had done decrease in demand is greater than decrease in supply. Now decrease in demand is, initially we did greater, but now demand decrease is less than decrease in supply. Come on everyone, try it out here. I know most of you would have found out the answer by now. Come on yaar. Yes, very good. So it's quite amazing to see so many correct answers. Correct. So I'll start with this. I'll start with the explanation and you all may find out what you have to say, So see, lovely friends, Lovely friends, pay attention here. See, always the first thing first. Demand, supply. Acha, before this hand method, okay? See, both are same. But now, see, quantity will fall. There is no fight only. Let's talk about price then. See, demand, supply. Supply is falling, demand is falling. But supply is falling by a greater quantity. So demand is above supply. Excess demand price will rise. Excess demand price will rise. So we didn't even have to, draw the diagram. And I acknowledge this. But that is after practice. You guys, now let's draw it here. So pay attention. Price, quantity. This is the equilibrium condition. This is the equilibrium price, and this is the equilibrium quantity. Okay? Okay. Having said all this, equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity and everything, now both are decreasing, but decrease in supply is way greater. So first of all, decrease in demand has to be done. Actually use a different color. Yes. So demand decrease, you see. But supply further decrease. Supply further decrease. So I'll put it here. I've put it here. The gap I have kept intentionally greater. So therefore, the new intersection is here. So as we had already predicted, the price would have risen and quantity would have fallen. That's what has happened. Price has risen and quantity has fallen. The reason behind rise in prices is excess demand, because though both were falling, supply was way below demand. Whenever this is happening, there is excess demand. So price rising, demand falling. Price rising, demand falling. Correct, sir. Guys, next part. When both change by equal percentage, let's say. When there is a change in both by equal percentage, let's say. So let's say decrease in demand equals to decrease. Yes, Shruti, correct. So now, when decrease in demand is equals to decrease in supply, come on yaar, predict. Tell me yaar, come on. Obviously you all are correct when you say that sir quantity will fall, obviously, because both demand and supply are falling. Tell me what will happen with the price. Tell me what will happen with the price. Come on everyone, come on. Yes, we have got it. So decrease in supply and decrease in quantity, this is both the same. So see, demand, okay, supply, okay, intersect, okay, got it sir, this much is okay sir. Now price you put here, quantity you put here, correct. Now decrease in demand equals to decrease in supply. You see, is there any excess demand or excess supply? No, because despite the fact that both are falling simultaneously here, both are at the same level. So there is no question of excess demand and excess supply rising, excess supply happening, or and therefore no change in price. So I'll show it to you how. Demand has shifted. Demand has shifted leftward. I mean, supply has also shifted leftward, and demand has also shifted leftward. So yes, you all are absolutely correct. You see, the quantity, price is remaining the same, but yes, quantity levels are falling. So price remains the same. Quantity was here, quantity has come here. So price remains the same. Why? Because there is neither excess demand nor there is excess supply. Neither excess demand nor excess supply. And so it has to be at the same level. It has to remain at the same level. You don't have any other option here. Guys, is this much clear here? Fatafat here. Is this much clear? Yeah, come on guys, come on guys. Yes sir, correct. My dear friends, let me give you an ask question, okay? See, let me give you a question, okay? This is, so pay attention. Pay attention. So this is from institute's material that I am copying the question, okay? Institute's material question, in the last it is solved, okay? Okay. But before this guys, now yaar, is it correct for me to assume that 100% this concept is clear? What say guys? Come on everyone, before we solve the institute book material, the illustration one that is given. Are you sure guys, everybody? Before I start this, need your confirmation. Okay. So yes sir, if you all are clear, then let's go ahead. Yeah, question. So you all have been given the different demand and supply curves, okay? Pay attention, it's given in the material. I'll just draw it for you all. D1, D2, D3. D1 is here, D2 is here, and D3 is here. A slight gap exists between the three, okay? And supply also, there are three, sir. Okay sir, great sir. Okay, great. So see, this is D1, this is D2, this is D3. Supply, there is S1. Supply, there is S1. Then there is S2 here. S2, and then there is S3 here. This is S3. Tell me yaar, this diagram is given, okay sir? Yes sir. Now, okay, no. Pay attention here. The question number one, part one is, and obviously this is price representative, this is quantity representation. Okay, so let's see what is given here. Okay, one of our friends is asking, sir, what if demand increase and supply decrease? Now my dear friend Mahesh, you will have to draw a diagram and check it out. I'll show it to you, but first pay attention to this question, na? Always stay where we are discussing, hai na? Don't go beyond. Everything will be discussed. Okay, pay attention everyone. So see, assume X is a normal good. Question 1 in institute's material is, assuming X is a commodity which is a normal good, everything else is constant. So they are saying that income is rising, income of the consumer is rising, and prices of factors of production are also rising. Oh my god. So which point will be new equilibrium quantity and new equilibrium price? Which point is going to give the new equilibrium, hai na? Which point will be the new equilibrium is what they are saying. So it's indeed interesting. I'll tell you what. See, you stay here first. Okay sir. Always, start from point 1, D1 and S1. Always start from point 1. Now, income rises, so demand has shifted to D2. But factor of production cost has risen. So if this has risen, quantity demand has risen. But if this has happened, quantity supplied has fallen. So quantity supplied will shift leftward towards S3. So this has come to D2 and this has gone to S3. So the point of intersection of D2 and S3 is this one. What is this point called? This point is called point number 2. So the answer to this question is point 2. What is the answer to this question? Point 2. Do you agree? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because there is a leftward shift from S1 to S3 of supply because factors of production have become expensive. Yes. So intersection of D2 and S3 is 0.2. Come on everyone, is it clear? Correct, 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 correct. Let's move on, let's move on, let's move on to part 2, part 2, part 2. Then they are telling that let's talk about market of good Z. Yani ki we are talking about a product Z. So now for Z, what has happened is Z has a complementary good Y, and the price of Y has fallen down, and the price of Y has fallen down. So sir, what has happened to the demand of Z? Demand for Z will rise, remember. But let's read further. At the same time, technological advancement in Z. There is a technological advancement in Z production. So which will represent new equilibrium. Now see, if there is technological advancement in Z, quantity supplied is rising. But if the market for good Z, you know, if the complementary goods price is falling, so the demand for Z is rising. So we will have to know that quantity demanded and supply are both rising. So demand will shift rightward to D2, supply will shift rightward to S2. So where they are intersecting D2 and S2 at this place called 0.7. So what is the new equilibrium point? 0.7 is the answer. 0.7 is the answer. 0.7 is the answer. Very good, very good. अरे अगर कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड Y का प्राइस कम हो रहा है तो डिमांड बढ़ेगा, और कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स में अपने पड़े हैं, एक का प्राइस कम हुआ तो दोनों का डिमांड बढ़ता है, तो गुड का डी का डिमांड बढ़ा. बट क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट हुई है, नई मशीनरी आई है, तो सप्लाई भी बढ़ेगा, तो दोनों राइटवर्ड भागे, D1 से D2 और S1 से S2, और दोनों इंटरसेक्ट 7 पर कर रहे हैं. तो अपने बोल दिए कि 7 इज द न्यू इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट. 7 इज द न्यू इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट. 7 इज द न्यू इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट. अच्छा, तो बेसिकली द थिंग इज कि वी हैव टू रिमेंबर इट that what is happening to the respect, and if your demand and supply chapter is not covered, if you have not studied demand and supply, that were the beginning chapters, then you will have difficulty here. Otherwise this chapter is butter, is as smooth as butter. Okay, so go ahead sir, go ahead. Part 3, let's talk about part 3 here. Let's talk about part 3 here. See, part 3 is interesting, a case study again. Heavy rains in Maharashtra during 2005 and 6 caused havoc with rice crop. So the rice crop was severely affected. Okay, I think supply will fall. Okay. So what is the new equilibrium point? So here demand is same, you see, so demand is D1, but supply is shifted from S1 to S3, so they are intersecting here D1 and S3. This point is called point number 3. So the answer to this question is point number 3, because you see demand has remained same, due to you know, rains and flood, supply has fallen, and so we move to point number 3. So point number 3 is our answer. Got it sir. Now moving on. So now pay attention. So what is the answer here? Caused havoc. Heavy rains caused havoc. So what is the answer? Point number 3 is the answer. Okay sir, fantastic. And let's see to the next question. If after this, guys, for your knowledge, I'll give you the real life use of this topic, you know, where this price mechanism is applied in reality. You know, I'll talk to you about this, but first one more part is left, hai na? Okay, part number 4. If prices of cars expected to rise in future, if prices of car expected to rise in future, if prices of car expected to rise in future, pay attention everyone, okay? They're asking in future, that is next year, it is expected. And who is expecting this? Consumers are expecting this. Consumers expect. So now they are asking what is the new equilibrium point. Arey Baba, if consumers expect that in future prices are going to rise, the quantity at present is going to increase, supply remaining the same. So supply here will be S1 only. But demand has to shift from D1 to D2 as it is rising. So S1 and D2 is intersecting here, which is called point number 5. And so it's, the question's answer is point number 5, where S1 and D2 are intersecting. As you see, price is expected to rise in future, so demand at present will rise. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My dear friends, is it clear till here? Is it clear till here? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Yo or no in the chat, guys. Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Yes, sir. Fantastic, fantastic. Great. Now, lovely friends, let me take you to another head. Friends. Yes, sir. Please tell us. Friends, when we move further on, please pay attention. One of our friends is saying, sir, explain point 1 again. What is it? Achha, assume X is a normal good, income rises. Obviously, my dear friend, if income is rising, quantity demanded will rise. And if prices of factors of production are rising, products are becoming expensive, cost of producing them is becoming expensive, so the supply has to fall. And therefore demand rises, supply falls. That's it. Gone. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Having said all this, now guys, the real life implication. I'll just want to explain it further from my side so that things are more logical to you. Farmers, they often used to be exploited. You know why? Because suppose, I'll draw this diagram again. If this is the intersection, at this point, equilibrium point, let's say this is the equilibrium price, this is the equilibrium quantity. Now here there is a problem. What is the problem, sir? Yeah, the problem is, suppose the farmers, the prices of their agricultural produce, the cost of production is greater than this price. So are you telling the farmer that they have to sell at a loss? Yes, this is what middlemen used to say. So what the government did was, government started to protect the farmers, government started fixing price floor. That is the minimum price which the farmer must get for their output. No middleman can buy it below this price. That is the minimum price fixed by the government. Sir, what if the middleman is not buying? If the middleman is not buying at this minimum price level, then it is the government who will buy this at this minimum price. And where is this minimum price kept, sir? It is kept above the equilibrium price. So remember, guys, though the word used is price floor, the funny thing is it is fixed above the equilibrium price. Okay, great. So that's why this is called price floor. Remember, the word is floor, but it is put above the equilibrium price. Who is government trying to protect? The farmers. But sir, as a result of fixing the price at that level, there is a problem, sir. What, sir? This is the supply, this is demand. So there will be problem of excess supply. Yes, government will build the buffer stock. By buying this excess supply and using it in times of earthquake or whenever country is in need. Our country or some other country, state is in need. If there is a contingency in any state and everything like that has happened, government is going to help. Correct. Now moving on. This is called, guys, price floor. Very important concept. In real life implication, if you want to know, if anybody is wanting to understand this topic from the real life, this is what you need to know. But there is another concept called price ceiling. Price ceiling. Guys, for the middle class consumer and for the lower middle class consumer, sometimes, for example, let's say, now remember, price ceiling is fixed to protect the consumers. It was for the producer, that is farmers, the price floor concept. Now pay attention. Friends, this is the intersection of demand and supply. Okay? Friends, this is the intersection of demand and supply. Okay? Yes, sir. Now here it is demand, here it is supply. Okay? So this is the original equilibrium condition. Now you're telling the consumer, as a producer, you are telling the consumer that at least this is the price they will have to pay. But do you think, guys, that all the consumers for the essential commodities will be able to pay this price? Come on here, you all tell me. It might not be possible. So in order to protect such consumers, what does the government do? Government sets price ceiling. And interestingly, though it is called ceiling, which is generally above our heads, it is fixed below the equilibrium price so that every consumer is able to buy. But sir, there is a problem, you might say, that if the government is fixing it below the equilibrium price, there is a problem, sir. Why? Because to this extent, there is excess demand then. Yes. As a result, my dear friends, due to this excess demand, practices like black marketing start happening. But what is government doing to prevent such excess demand from happening? Government has started a rationing system. So basically, you will have to have ration cards. Then only at this particular price or at a lower price, you will be able to buy only fixed quantity, not many quantity, not much quantity. Why? Because here there is excess demand. So everybody will need. So government has fixed the limit under this ration card system. Yes. That's what happens. Exactly. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. And first, before I start to practice some numericals now, let me give you a good news. Numericals or other questions now. Let me give you a good news. What is the good news, sir? The good news is this topic is over. Is it crystal clear, everybody? This chapter is over. Is it crystal clear, everyone? Only then I'll start the question discussion. Fatafat, everybody. Yes, sir, it's clear. Right? Pay attention, everyone. Now pay attention, everyone. Hear what I have to say. Pay attention, everybody. Okay, so listen up, sir. Pay attention, sir. Now, guys, you remember I told you that we will practice some questions. Now let me take a 2 to 3 marks test. It's enough to test you. Let's see. The question is, due to poor season, crop productivity got hampered. How will it affect equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? This question is of 2 marks. Come on, everyone. What do you think is the answer? Come on, everybody. What do you think is the answer? Come on, everyone. Fatafat, everyone. Very good, yaar. So most of you are clear and you are correct. Most of you are clear with your concepts and you are correct in your concepts. So I'll tell you what is going on here. Pay attention, everyone. Okay, pay attention, sir. See, this is the demand and supply position. Okay. So now here it is demand, here it is supply. Here is the point of intersection, as we call it, the equilibrium, intersect, gone. Equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, gone. Now crop producing got hampered. Arey baba, to supply will fall re. So if supply has fallen, it has come here. So what has happened to equilibrium price? Yes, you are correct. Equilibrium price has risen while equilibrium quantity has fallen. So price has risen and quantity has fallen. So equilibrium price will rise and equilibrium quantity will fall. Khatam. There it is. There it is. Okay. One of my friends has asked me a question, Sakaldeep, Mr. Sakaldeep Paswan. Okay. So let us help him. Okay. Let us help him. What the question is, I'll read it out in front of you, friends, and then you all may also try to help him. Okay. I'll study. A car is made and its cost is fixed to 1 lakh. But when Corona came, post-Corona period or during Corona period, it became 2 lakhs. Why is it, sir? Because the car was already made and its value was pre-decided at 1 lakh. So why now post-Corona it's becoming 2 lakh rupees when it has already been made under 1 lakh before the Corona period? That is the question. Guys, how many of you will want to answer this question? Come on, everybody. Let's hear it from you, friends, first, because it is one of your friends who has asked this question. Let's see. Come on. Yes. Okay. So Sakaldeep's question is why after Corona period, price from 1 lakh to 2 lakh went. Price increased. Why? So my dear friend Sakaldeep, pay attention, and everybody pay attention. You see, our friend Sakaldeep is making one mistake. He is thinking that price of any product in the market is only influenced by cost. Sakaldeep, you are wrong. Sakaldeep, you are wrong. Because it's not only the cost that determines the price of a product. It also depends on whether there is excess demand or excess supply. Post-Corona period, you see, whatever money people had, or people who were planning to buy a car and who could not buy due to Corona, now they will also want car. So quantity demanded has risen. But due to Corona period, quantity supplied was fixed. It could not be increased any further. So demand has risen, but supply has remained fixed due to Corona. So what will happen? Excess demand, and due to this, my dear friend Sakaldeep, excess demand, price has risen. Everyone, is it clear? Everyone, is it clear? Come on, everybody. Is it clear, everyone? A good question asked by one of our friends. Is it clear, guys? Come on, everyone. Very good. Very good. Yes, sir. It's crystal clear, sir. Fantastic. 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 Great. So now let me ask you another question then. Having said all this, let me move on to the next question then. Okay. Okay, let's pay attention. Germany, due to Russia's war with Ukraine, Germany, due to Russia's war with Ukraine, has decided to end relation with Russia in terms of Nord 1 oil pipeline. Nord 1 oil pipeline. How will it affect equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in Germany? Come on, everyone. From German point of view, the question has been drafted. Pay attention, everyone. Come on everyone. Come on everyone. Very good Sanjay, very good Himanshu, great answer, very good yaar. You people are doing fantastic yaar. Komal, check your answer, partially correct. Bibu, good answer. Alright, so I'll help you out here. I'll help you out here. Have a look. Come on, I'm waiting for a minute. Let me see the answer from everyone. Okay. So see, now you guys see, if Germany has stopped imports, the supply of oil in Germany is affected. Supply of oil in Germany has happened what? Fallen. Demand, we have not changed at all. So now what is going to happen? Because the German countries are very cold, and in order for helping them to keep their houses warm, they need gas supply constantly. Now the fact that they have reduced this, what will happen? See, initially demand and supply was like this in the pre-war period. So it was intersecting like this. You see, here it is the price and here is the quantity. So here is the equilibrium price and here is the equilibrium quantity. Okay, great. Now pay attention. This is the equilibrium point. Now supply is here, demand is here. What they are selling is supply is affected in Germany now because of Germany ending relations. So what has happened? You see, this is what has happened. The price of oil in Germany has risen and the quantity has fallen, and that's what is the reality in fact. And the quantity in Germany has fallen in fact. This is the truth in fact. Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Guys, are you all ready for the next question here? Is it crystal clear till here? Very good. Moving on. Next question. If in a country there is inflow of new technology, but at the same time consumer income falls, what will happen to equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? Come on here. Need your answers, everyone. Yes, sir. So having said this, let me show it to you all how you go about it. Very simple, na? You see, due to inflow of new technology, supply will rise, but due to income of the consumer falling, quantity demanded will fall. So you see, demand this way, supply this way. Originally everything like this, okay? Price, quantity, original equilibrium, fantastic, everything going fantastic. Now what happens is, if let's say the new technology is resulting in more supply, so the supply has shifted here. So the supply has shifted here, na? It was S, it has come to S1. But at the same moment, what has happened is, due to fall in demand, the demand is shifting towards the left. And as a result, you know, there is this demand is here. So what is happening here? This is D1. So this is intersecting here, and here it is. Here it is. So equilibrium quantity is rising and equilibrium price is falling. So price is falling, quantity is rising. Why, sir? Please tell us again. You know, see, because you know new technology, so quantity will rise. It's obvious. But what is happening is, you know, supply is rising, demand is falling. So there is this huge gap between the two. There is excess supply. Whenever there is excess supply in the market, yaar, it is obvious, it is goddamn obvious that it has got to fall, because there is excess supply. Because there is excess supply. Yes, Ishan, I answered according to his question's condition. It can be different for every person. Correct. Quantity will rise, obviously, because quantity supplied is rising. Advanced technology is coming in, okay? That can be seen by the help of graph, okay? That is the idea, guys. Come on, everyone. My dear friends, is this topic crystal clear? Yes, no, everyone. Yes or no, everyone. Come on, everyone. One last time. Is it crystal clear? Yes, I can repeat this question. What I had asked was that there is a new technology inflowing the country, but at the same time, the consumer income is also falling. So yes, since inflow of new technology, supply rises. See, this is supply rising, but due to consumer income falling, demand falling. So supply and demand, there is this huge gap called excess supply, and as a result of which price will fall. And since excess supply has taken place, quantity will rise, obviously, with some quantity at least. All right, guys. Okay, Shalini, fantastic, Avinash. All right, Soumya. So my dear friends, next day I'll carry it beyond, where I'll talk to you about the markets in details, like perfect competition, you know, like the monopoly, the monopolistic competition, oligopoly. We have done it, but now is the time to do it in even further details. Your homework will be to practice, revise, study institute's material till here. So that's it for the day, guys. Goodbye, everyone. Tata for the day. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.